Well, what is up, Crazy X? Welcome to Crazy Studios. I'm trying out a new camera. I hope this one is working out really good. My goal is to kind of make this the primary new camera. We'll have to check it out, but if you notice any difference, that's why. It's because we're shooting with a new camera. Okay, so welcome. This is my channel, Healthy Wednesday. Today we're just going to be talking about fitness goals, progressions. Also, what are some of your fitness goals? Love to see those down in the comments. Maybe you just want to lose 20 pounds. Maybe you just want to be more active and take more steps. Maybe you want to get out there and walk more. Of course, hopefully you don't live here in Oregon where it rains all the time now. We're officially in a rainy season, but there's always treadmills and all sorts of different stuff. The first thing I do want to talk about as we go over these goals is I have the Samsung watch. I probably need to go in the settings and change some things. I know when I was using my Fitbit would constantly say I'm hitting 10,000 steps. This thing kind of will say I'm taking like 4,000 steps or 6,000 steps. It's significantly lower than what I was getting with that. But honestly, the reason I've never really gone into the settings, and I might not even actually go into the settings and change it, is it doesn't matter really what this says, as long as I'm beating yesterday. I think that's Garmin's slogan. But, as long as I'm being more active than I was yesterday, that's what really matters. So that's why I've never really gone in there. So I've set a limit of 6,000 just because really since I've been using this guy back, I restarted using this in January. I haven't even hit 6,000. There might be some days here and there, but significantly for a month period, I don't think I ever have hit 6,000. So that is my goal. So let's start with last week. Now, there's going to be kind of like two sections of this video. This first part is just where I did last week, what my kind of goals are, where I want to be. And then since this is my first Healthy Wednesday video, of course, I'm a big proponent of DDPYoga. So I'm also going to be sharing my origin story with DDPYoga, how I got involved with that. But let's first just talk about where I'm at and the goals. So I'm going to take my average weight for last week, for the whole week, and that's going to be where we start at. So last week, my average weight was 317.8. Should also probably pull up this other part here too. Get all messages on the computer there. My average body fat for the week was 42%. Average daily steps for last week. Now this is the average daily steps. So I took all the days together and divided it by 7, and that's what we come up with is 4,179. That is to a goal of 6,000. And then my average daily water consumption was 31 fluid ounces. Right now I'm trying to get that up to 54. So that's going to be my starting point. One thing I do like sharing is I still use Fitbit, and I have the RE scale, so I weigh myself and it records it. So it's kind of nice. Ooh, I do not see the option I want on here. Let me try something here. I'm taking a little field trip. Does that? Nope, that does not. I'm trying to see if I might be able to flip the camera, but I'm not seeing that option. So I think this is showing what I'm looking for. You can see over the course of this year, this is a 1-year calendar. We started here and we're down here. I do like, because we do struggle with, sometimes we get in an area where it looks like we're just gaining and gaining, but we forget where we started from. So I do like having this record to show where I started from last year, and I can actually see the progress that I've made. So I do like that factor. I'm playing around with this camera here a little bit. So overall, I want to get out of the 300 club. That's my big goal. Kind of get back down to like 299. I don't know what my finish, I don't know there really is a finish goal. I mean, I've been in the 300 club for a while, so definitely want to get out of that. I mean, maybe get out of the 200 club, but I don't know that's really, you know, it's just about being healthy. And I don't know. I don't think there isn't really an end weight goal. I mean, the other part too is, as I said, I'm 317. I know people with bellies out to here that are like 299 pounds. So, you know, with my 300, I'm kind of like, I don't know, for me, it's like Bam Bam Bigelow, you know, I'm still pretty active. Like, even at work, like I've been out doing like flips and stuff like that. Like, I mean, not like standing, but, you know, like I'll, you know, like drop and roll. And all these people are like, how are you doing that? You know, because they're not even capable. So, I mean, I am overall happy with where I'm at. I know I need to trim down. And I know that, you know, it's not an optimal weight. So I definitely want to get out. As I said, I want to get out of the 300 club. And we'll just see where it goes. Body fat, definitely, I know there's a lot there to lose. I mean, my mini goals, and that's a key thing too, is mini goals. Don't look for big, long, hard to achieve goals. Look for the mini goals, celebrate your mini goals, and it'll keep you motivated, and then you'll get those bigger goals as opposed to just shooting for something too large. So I mean, right now, I want to get down to 314. That's my mini goal. You know, I'm at 317 point. I mean, I might as well say 318. So, you know, 4 pounds, mini goal. Get that 4 pounds down, and let's get the body fat down to 39, 3%. So those are a couple mini goals right there I'm working on. All right, so we talked about that. Average daily steps, my goal is to get that up to 6,000, and daily water consumption is 54 fluid ounces. If you're inclined, tell me some of your mini goals. Maybe tell me your larger goals, but, you know, let's make this a community and interact. You know, I love interacting with you people. Speaking of which, RealKidKrazy, RealKidKrazy. You can email me, realkidkrazy.com at gmail.com. Do you have to remember the at gmail.com part of that? You can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at RealKidKrazy. All right. So without further ado, my DDP yoga story. It really, you know, growing up, I was always a big fan of wrestling. And honestly, I like the bad guys. I like the cocky guys. I'll tell you the truth. The bad guys are usually the good guys in the real world, and the good guys are usually the bad guys. So I've always been a fan of the bad guys. And I remember watching this guy, Diamond Dallas Page. And he had a couple other guys with him. He had this guy, Vinny Vegas. Big Vinny Vegas. And he had this other guy. They called him the Diamond Stud. Of course, Vinny Vegas and Diamond Stud would go on to become Big Daddy Cool Diesel, Kevin Nash, and Ayo, Chico. Say hello to the bad guy, Razor Ramon. Also, Scott Hall. So I always liked those guys. It's gonna have to fix that in the future here so that does not keep happening to us. So I was a fan of Diamond Dallas Page to begin with. Now, where the story begins happens around the time of the NWO. And around this time, Dallas kind of was becoming the good guy, the face of the company, and the NWO was the bad guys. So, of course, I was going to the NWO. One of my favorite basketball players at the time was the Worm, Dennis Rodman, the NBA's bad boy. Played with the Chicago Bulls, tearing down the courts. I remember him and Karl Malone going at it on the basketball court. what, 2 years back-to-back at NBA Finals. And this all led to an event called Bashed at the Beach. And that was in, I want to say, 1998? 94? I was supposed to write that down. Give me one moment here. Not that I guess it really matters, but... Rodman... Malone... I remember looking this up. I'm kind of surprised I did not write this down. Okay, yeah, it was 1998. So in 1998, these two guys met inside the squared circle. It was Hollywood, Hulk Hogan, teaming up with Dennis Rodman to take on Karl Malone and DDP. So I'm on Hogan's side. I'm on Dennis Rodman. That's my team. Now, this event is happening in Cox Arena in San Diego, California. It's a state down below me. And I'm like, you know, it's a pipe dream. I'd like to go to this event. I mean, it would be fun. I think this would probably be my first wrestling event, especially going to one by myself of a professional level. I think I went to a couple like WWE events with my parents and stuff, but this was my chance. State down below me. Let's see if this can happen. So I remember going to Ticketmaster. Remember that place? G.I. Joe's. Waiting outside for the tickets to go on sale. Tickets go on sale. I'm the third person in line, and I get my tickets. Book my flight, and I'm off to San Diego to watch this event. Now, of course, if you watch those wrestling events, you've always got those fans with those signs. So I had to make a sign. You know, this was Sunday as a pay-per-view. And I've got to support Dennis Rodman and Hulk Hogan. And they're taking on the mailman, Karl Malone, on a Sunday. Mailman. Wait a sec. Whoa, 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 whoa. The mailman doesn't deliver on Sundays. Yep, that's my sign. Hey, Malone, the mailman does not deliver on Sundays. And the mailman did not deliver on this Sunday either, as Team NWO was just a little too sweet and took home the victory. So at this time, DDP was doing this gimmick where he would go out through the crowd. Now, I got some amazing seats. Like, I think I want to say I was like third row. I was like third or fourth row. And, you know, I'm like over here. So Karl Malone and DDP go out into the crowd over here. So, you know, I'm over here on this end. They go out over here. They go up to like I think they actually kind of went up to like the little bit of like the balcony, not balcony, the 100 level, you know, because I'm on the floor. They go up to like the 100 level and they go up a couple rows and then they're kind of crossing over and they're walking towards me. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to follow them and taunt them with my sign. So I'm kind of taunting them, waving the sign, and, you know, security's kind of clearing away for them. So they start pushing the fans, you know, getting them out of the way. So I'm kind of getting pushed this way, but I'm still, you know, trying to angle the sign to kind of rub it in a little bit. And as I'm getting pushed, I feel this jerk behind me on my sign. Like, it just kind of pulls me back. I turn around. It's DDP. He's grabbed my sign and is ripping the sign apart. Well, I grabbed the pieces and I took them home. So I have this torn up sign. It's actually inside here, I believe. But I have this torn up sign by DDP. that I took home from that event. A couple years later, as I said, I was always a fan of Paige, and I just not a big fan when he was a good guy, but when he was that bad guy, the cocky guy, always loved his character. And I found him on Facebook. Actually, I found him on MySpace, and we exchange messages, like the because on my MySpace she would say like, hey, it's so and so's birthday, so I get a happy birthday from Paige, and I'd send him one. I'd send him a Merry Christmas. He'd be like, you too, bro. And then I found him on Facebook when the world transitioned from MySpace to Facebook, and he had this bit on there where he's like, I only want real active, like real fans, like real people to on my friends list. So if you are a fan, if you want to invite me to be a friend, don't just add me, send me a message. So I'm like, okay, well, hey, yeah, I'll send him a message. I'll even tell him that story. So I told him the story about the sign, and I'm like, if I ever get the opportunity, I would love to have you sign this sign. And he actually responded. I actually kind of wrote that down. Great story about the mailman, bro. He's like, totally, I would sign that for you. And then he told me what he was doing now. And he told me about a man named Arthur Borman. And actually, I think I'll even put the Arthur Borman link down below. So check that out. I'll probably put a couple links down below about DDP Yoga. So if you do want to learn more about it, check that out. Arthur Borman's story is truly inspiring. It's truly amazing. There's been a couple waves of this, and I love it. There's one where like Tony Robbins retweeted this. David Blaine. Was it David? No. David Copperfield. David Copperfield retweeted it, and he said, if you want to see real magic, check this out. Just really cool stuff there. But yeah, check out the video about Arthur Borman and his transformation. But he sent me the video about that, and was telling me about his new project, YRG. Now, YRG used to be yoga for regular guys. But then, because, and it's cool, he actually has a book out there, and the foreword is written by Rob Zombie. But it's like, he's like, bro, no dude does yoga. His wife at the time, Kimberly, was trying to get him to do that. And he's like, no one does that. But this really changed his life, and he saw this and worked with a couple other people. Craig Aaron, Yoga Doc, and he launched DDP Yoga. And YRG was just the original name, and at the time it was kind of transitioned from DDP Yoga to just YRG. It was no longer yoga for regular guys. And then he switched it over to DDP Yoga. And it was funny, too, the tagline for DDP Yoga used to be, it ain't your mama's yoga. Trying to check one other thing out here real quick. I apologize. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, do check that stuff out down below. Got involved with YRG shortly after I did. I found out they were planning the first ever DDP Yoga extravaganza. So I'm like, yeah, let's check this out. So I went down to Mexico. I met DDP. I took my sign pieces to him. He signed them. And yeah, it's really like a family now down there. I've been to every year that they've done a DDP Yoga retreat. I've gone. There was one year, we did it this year, but we didn't do the year prior due to COVID. So I did miss that one. There's one year where they did 2 back-to-backs, and I couldn't figure out which one to go to, because some of the people were going to the first one, some of the people were going to the second one. So I'm like, well, let's just do both of them. I was able to make that happen. I was blessed with that opportunity to be able to go to both of them. There's one year they did a summer and winter one, I mean, just taking the time off work, or it was hard to get that time off. There just was no way to really make that one happen. But I did go to the summer one because that's typically when the event was. But yeah, so I've been to every year that they have done a DDP yoga retreat. I have been there. They are talking about switching things up, kind of doing smaller ones and then kind of like doing a larger one every couple years. So definitely I'm going to follow that and seeing how that goes. But yeah, if you are interested in, I mean, another story I'll tell you about DDP yoga and how it's really helped me is I ran into one of my old buddies from work. You know, he's just at a different branch now at the time. And I'm like, oh, you haven't seen those pictures yet, have you? And he's like, no, I'd love to see them. I had them in my car. So I'm like, yeah, let me go run and grab them. So I go running out to my car. Now, where I work, there's a, a sidewalk. It's like up on a curb. You step down. And then as you step down, there's almost like immediately a curb for a car. So there's 12 inches. I mean, kind of like, yeah, I'd say maybe like a foot. So you step down off the curb, and in about a foot, there's the curb for the car, so the car doesn't run up on the sidewalk. And as I take a step down, I guess, I just didn't lift my foot high enough. Step down, bam, my foot hits that curb, face plant, belly flop, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, the key thing is on the asphalt. I belly flop on cement. I kind of get the wind knocked out of you a little bit, but I'm like, I literally just bounce back up, and I get up and I go out to my car. I grab the photos, and I come in, and he's like kind of looking at me, and I'm like, oh, did you see what happened? He's like, yeah, are you okay? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm fine. And I'm looking down at my tie. My tie's all messed up. It's like ripped, and like buttons on my shirt have came off from hitting that. So I kind of cleaned up, and one of my other colleagues also saw it, and she had someone in her office, and the person in the office was like, oh my God, is he okay? And she turned around and saw me get right back up. So she's like, yeah, I was going to check on you, but I saw you just get right back up. Now, why do I tell that story? Because about 3 weeks after that happened to me, as I said, belly flop, face plant, whatever you want to call it, on the cement. I see this, older woman. I didn't see her fall or what happened, but I see her kind of, it looks like she also had tripped in a different spot, not the same area. And she had landed on bark dust. And I'm watching, and she actually ended up getting loaded onto an ambulance and taken to the hospital. So, I mean, pavement, like, no give, no absorption, like, bam, to bark dust. That has some absorption. Like, falling on bark dust is not going to be as bad as falling on cement. And I think, like I said, I don't know the exact situation of what happened with her, but I have a strong feeling that by doing stuff like yoga, which that's the thing that most people don't realize, we all think of just like the bulking up and all of that. Yoga stretches your body. It allows your body to kind of move and bend and allows you to be more fluid. And I think that's a key component, Every day, all we do is we beat down our spine, we beat down our joints. Yoga is about stretching the body out, and it's healing, and it's preventative maintenance. So when you do something that would land you in the hospital, you're less likely because, I mean, I don't know the words, but I'm sure you kind of get what I'm saying, Yoga is really preventative care. It helps us be more active, do more things. So it is something that I definitely would recommend checking out, and I will have those links down below. But thank you again today for your time, for listening to all of this. Hopefully I didn't do too much rambling in here, and I hope I did make this enjoyable for you. I want to hear your mini goals. Leave those in the comments. We are a new channel, so if you have suggestions, tell us things that you want to see, feel free to let us know about that. And since we are new, anything helps. So the comments helps, liking the video, subscribing to the channel. Thank you, everybody. Stay crazy, my friends. We'll be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow will be TV Thursday. We're going to have a couple reviews from TV shows and some movies. So check that out. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Stay crazy, my friends.